Hi everyone. I have just a couple of pointers to offer when you're inserting, deleting columns and rows, and I would also like to show you the format painter and a very simple way of changing your default font and font size, which is right here. I have Arial 10 in this particular spreadsheet, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Make use of your right click when you're inserting, deleting, etc. Columns and rows. For example, if I want to delete row 5, I can just simply click over here on row 5, right click, and choose delete. If I want to delete 4 or 6 or 8 or 10 rows, I can just select those rows and again right click and choose delete. If I want them back, I can go up here and undelete. Same thing with a column. If I want to insert a column, I can select where I would like to insert that column, and this will insert to my left. Okay. Do you notice I'm jumping from A to D here? That just means I have hid columns. To unhide those, I can select both columns, right click, and choose unhide. If I want to hide a column, for example, if I want to hide column D or C through D, I can select those 3 columns, right click, and choose to hide them, B to F. Select B and F, right click, and choose unhide. If I want to delete a column, choose the column, right click, delete, and I can undo that. So do as I've suggested, just make use of the right click. That way you don't have to use the ribbon and find the correct group with that information. I'm just going to delete this extra column right here. Okay, now I want to talk about this, the format painter, a very powerful tool. And what it does is if I spend a lot of time formatting something, let me just look at this cell right here. If I change the font color and the font size and the position and maybe the font style, and let me make it really gaudy and add a background color. If this is something that I would like here, I don't have to go over here and redo all of that. This color, that size, this font. All I have to do is select this cell and paint that format to wherever I want. So again, I return to the cell that I like the format, and I choose the format painter just like you would dip a paintbrush into a paint can, and you dip in this color and format, and you bring your brush and you paint it over here. And so it takes on that color that you had over here. But of course, color contains more than just the color, but the font and the font size, etc. Now, if you, again, you're here at the format you like, if you double click on the format painter, click, now you see it looks a little different, and now I can drop the paint here or here or here or here, and it will continue to drop that paint color until I go back here and click again to turn it off. And obviously then, because this cell is painted the same as this, when I type, it's going to have that exact format. Now, you can use, in a sense, the flip side of the format painter to bring this all back to normal. So if I take a cell like this, which is what I would call plain Jane, and paint that over all of this, then everything's back to normal. right? Same thing with if I would change this format to currency. I know you can't quite see that, but if you have that format right here, you can paint that in a number of other cells. Right. Let me switch over to a blank spreadsheet. When you type in any cell in a spreadsheet, a new worksheet always has a preset format. Every single cell, and there are hundreds of thousands of cells in this spreadsheet. They all have a particular format. They're Arial and 10 for right now, and they're white, a white background, black text. And if I type in $1.40, I don't get a dollar sign because I haven't formatted it for that. But if I type $1.40 by typing 1.4, I can select a format over here of currency, and I can also, let me do that one more time. Notice that these cells all have a general format. What if I don't like the dollar sign out to the left? Well, I could explore some of the other formats, or I could just type the way I want it to look. If I want it like this, and I want it this color, and I want that on all of my other cells here that have numbers in them, then I can paint that format. If I want it all back to a general format, then every other cell in this spreadsheet is a plain format. So I can just come here and paint that format in these cells. So I hope that helps a little bit. Now, last, if you want to change the font and the font size of every worksheet that you open from now on, every new worksheet that you start, you can do that in the Backstage view. So on this File tab, you go down to Options, and right here on the General tab, use this font, use this font size. And so you can change it to whatever font style you want and whatever font size you want. If you click OK in this window, it will just tell you to close Excel and reopen. And from that point on, all new worksheets would have this font with this font size. Now, this does not affect spreadsheets that are already created. If someone sends you a spreadsheet or you open a spreadsheet from last week, those spreadsheets will retain the font and font size that you were using when you saved the worksheet. So I hope that adds just a little more information for you when you're formatting spreadsheets. Thank you.